For I think God has placed us, the apostles, in last place, like men condemned to die. We have become a spectacle to the world and to angels and to men. We are fools for Christ, but you are wise in Christ. We are weak, but you are strong. You are distinguished, but we are dishonored. Up to the present hour we are both hungry and thirsty. We are poorly clothed, roughly treated, homeless. We labor, working with our own hands. When we are reviled, we bless. When we are persecuted, we endure it. When we are slandered, we respond graciously. Even now we are like the world's garbage, like the dirt everyone scrapes off their sandals. That's 1 Corinthians 4, 9 to 15. That's what I got into today. And, there's most people consider the apostles those that walked with Christ, that saw him, that knew him. But there's a lot of modern day apostles. You've got a new apostolic reformation and people calling themselves apostles, but none of them would see themselves in this way. They all think very highly of themselves and well esteemed, much like the Pharisees back in the day. But we are to put ourselves last. We are to be given up for the sake of the gospel. As we come up on Easter, it's even more important to talk about Christ and his resurrection and forsake anything we're holding on to in this world for that purpose, especially as we are seeing so many signs going on. And now even more so, it's like I see more brothers and sisters debating things that aren't essential, that aren't focusing on the cross, buying into some worldly narratives that do more to divide us and accelerate hate than to bring harmony and to bring people to Christ. And talking about an exchange of wealth, between racial classes and the fake Jews or the fake Hebrews or Israelites, and all of these things where there's elements of truth, but if they don't bring people together, if they're not in love, they are more divisive than any elements of truth could be beneficial. 1 Corinthians 3, before we even get to what I started with, brothers, I was not able to speak to you as spiritual people, but as people of the flesh, as babies in Christ. I gave you milk to drink, not solid food, because you were not yet ready for it. In fact, you are still not ready because you are still fleshly. For since there is envy and strife among you, are you not fleshly and living like unbelievers? For whenever someone says, I'm with Paul, and another, I'm with Apollos, are you not unspiritual people? Apollos was somebody that was also preaching repentance, but he wasn't even aware of Jesus' resurrection at first. He had to be corrected. But then Paul went on to say, Paul planted, Apollos watered, but God is responsible for the growth. So we plant our seeds, we do what we're supposed to do here. We share the good news of Christ and him resurrected, crucified and resurrected, and we trust God to do the rest. And as we're going through things, we hold on to that, and we still are a representation of that resurrection. Even when we feel like the world is closing in on us, we are still to be reflective of that glory of Resurrection Sunday, so that those who don't have hope can see the hope that is in us, and the seed is planted, and God is responsible for the rest. They suffered as if they were the garbage of this world, but there is no garbage when you're in Christ. God bless you. See you tomorrow.